Hey you guys, it's me, and I was going to do I'm looking over because I'm actually at work, and it's on my lunch break. So we're gonna make this video like really quick and as quick as possible because I gotta go and leave very soon. I was just gonna be quick because it's honestly not really that big of a story to tell, but I figured I would share it because it's kind of like people have been asking me this question over and over again, and I'm going to actually make it closer. So recently I went on vacation, as you guys know. And I was on a plane for the first time in my life, ever. And I mean, I've flown before. It's like not that scary to me. Like I don't mind flying, but it's the first time doing it on my own. And before, like I always had my parents or my family with me. And I feel like everything that could have gone wrong kind of did go wrong. So on the way there, my plane was actually originally supposed to leave at like 5:39ish. And it's like literally at 5:39. I left my home at 3:30. It takes about an hour there, so I was supposed to get there around like 4:30. Actually, it's like 45 minutes, so 4:15 was probably like the latest I was gonna get there. And it kind of changed over because there was an accident, like where this entire semi ended up flipping over, and it was about a mile away from the actual airport, and it took an hour and a half or 40 minutes, or like hour and a half to hour and 40, almost like 2 hours, literally right there, just to get to like pass over. And I think it was like about an hour and a half. So I got to the airport around like 5:10ish, so I was like, I still had a good 20 to 30 minutes. So I went to the kiosk, and this is why I probably should have like checked in and done my whole boarding pass much sooner. But it's okay, because you make mistakes anywhere from. But I did it, and then they gave me this little page, and they said I had to go to the front and get a ticket from somebody else. And so I went there. I went to this guy, and then he's like, no, you have to go over here. So I went there, and then they gave me a ticket, and they told me I'm on standby. So I'm like, okay. So I went over to the TSA line, and stupid me, instead of just like being like showing up my ticket, because now I was on standby, it didn't really even make a difference because I basically missed my check-in time. So I was kind of stupid about that, but that's okay. So I waited, and the TSA line was quite long, but it was moving actually really fast, which was actually really nice. But I could have actually probably bypassed that had I checked in a lot earlier. And then I figured out where I was going with the gate for the next plane flight, because I was on standby, and it was literally like right next to the one that I was going to be going on. And as soon as I got to the gate, because so my gate was 8:25 is the one I was supposed to be. The original gate I was supposed to leave on was 8:24, and then it got moved over to 8:25, so they were right next to each other. And then, so as soon as I got to like 8:24, which was my original like gate, I was literally watching the plane like back out from the little, I don't even know what it's called, but just watching it back out, and I was like, I could have made it, like I literally could have made it to that flight, and I was just like, this is so stupid. And then I like called my parents, and then also my aunt, because she was going to be picking me up, and it was just like a mess. And I was on standby, so I was like freaking out a little bit, but not like too much, because I'm not too worried, because I was like, it's fine, I can go home. I'm not like, it's not a big deal if I like go back. But I waited, and luckily I looked online and stuff, and they did have actually open seats, and actually I think it was like a lot more empty. Like there was a good 15 to 20 seats. Like I got the window seat, which is like fine, but I didn't even have anybody next to me or in front of me, like seat place. Like the airplane was completely empty, and this, mind you, was like around like 7 o'clock in the morning instead of like 5:30 in the morning I was going to leave. So much better, not only for me but also my aunt, because she was able to do it. So I was able to do that, and it was great. And so I didn't have to worry about luggage, because all I took was the backpack. So luggage, fine, was totally great. And then on the way back, I made my flight. It was great. I actually ended up waiting like a little bit longer than I expected, but it's fine. So I got there, and then I boarded the flight, like totally no issues, nothing happened. I mean, I was carrying like a huge backpack, but totally fine, still fit in the seat, we were great. But we got into the plane, and then I ended up waiting. I took a bunch of snaps actually, and I'll insert them I think at the end of the video, so you guys can see the ones I saved. But we got there, and then we ended up stalling there for about a good hour and a half to 2 hours. Like we can't, like we were gonna take off, and then we couldn't because of the weather. There was like lightning and thunder, and so it was just starting to pour, and it was like we were going to take off like literally a minute before, and then we were on hold, and so they were rewriting, and there was like 20 planes in front of us. So they had to reroute them, and then we had to reroute us. So we were supposed, I guess there's like a rule and stuff, so you can't go, so they can't keep you on the plane for more than like 2.5 hours. So that's what we did. So we kind of stayed there for about 2 hours, and then they ended up coming back to the gate because the pilots had run out of time for them to like fly, I guess. So they weren't allowed to like pilot a plane, I guess, after a certain time. So we ended up turning back, and then we ended up waiting at the gate for quite a few hours, trying to figure out how we were going to go on to the next flight or what was going to happen. And so what ended up happening, I guess eventually it was like 2-3 hours later, a plane from Detroit was actually coming back, and so if they were going to get an okay from the flight and the crew and the pilots and stuff that they would be able to pilot us back, we would be able to go. So we got an okay from them after like they got arrived and everything, but they also said that we had to watch out for the weather and just make sure that was okay. But we got an okay. So instead of coming home to Detroit at like 12 o'clock, like it was like 11:45, I ended up coming home around like 3:15, 3:14. And so by the time I actually like went to bed, it was like 5. It was like 4:45, but like 5. So because it takes about an hour and a half and stuff. So I think it was like more of a struggle. I don't know, I had no idea because the plane kept getting delayed, pushed back. So instead of taking off at like 9:30, it ended up getting pushed back until like 1 in the morning. So it was crazy, but it was fine. I mean, it's good. It is, and you live and you learn. And like, am I in that situation next time? Yeah, I will know what to do. Definitely not going to work like back-to-back hours because I freaked out that I was going to have to call in, but luckily I didn't. So that was my little spiel of my flight fiasco and stuff. So yeah, I was gonna do like a mukbang thing, but I figured I'd just complete it after. So, all right, I hope you guys have a great day. Love you all. See you next time. Bye.